Tall as trees. But as you know as well as I know, turtles don't climb trees. So it was Chipmunk who was sent up the tree. And Turtle enjoyed the sticky fruit. And all was well in the world, except lurking in the bushes was a wolf.
There was a knock on the door, and Fox said, "Who's been in my sack?" And the old man said, nobody has. I was going to, Fox, but I thought better of it, so I didn't look, unless my grandson did. Son, you didn't look in there, did you? Oh, Pops, I thought it was a present from me, so I just had a little peek, and there was a chicken in there, and I didn't want the chicken messing up your house, so I chased it down the road. And Fox said, chase my chicken down the road, did you? Then I'll take you. And he picked him up and put the boy in his sack. And the grandpop said, "Hang on a minute, Fox, that's not fair." And Fox said, "What's fair is fair, what's not is not. What's in my sack goes in my pot." And he went off singing, "Nobody knows but me, nobody knows but me, nobody knows what's in my sack, nobody knows but me." Claim victory. How sweet. I grabbed the next fence, I threw myself over and splash! I landed in a goldfish pond. It was a very deep goldfish pond. The water came over my waist, it came over my chest, it came over my head. There I was, sitting at the bottom of a goldfish pond. And it got worse. There, coming towards me, was the largest snapping turtle I had ever seen. I started to struggle, I panicked, and in my panic, the reeds on the bottom of that goldfish pond wrapped around my legs, wrapped around my wrists, until I was stuck fast. And the giant snapping turtle came closer and closer and closer. And that's when I did what you should never do if you're sitting on the bottom of a goldfish pond. I screamed. Ah! The rope failed. The only thing he could think to do was to take his hatchet, go out onto the land, and poach a deer. Now, there was a risk with poaching that deer, because if he was caught, he would be hung. So you imagine how his heart must have been beating as he hid behind the trees, running and hiding behind another one, looking to see if he could find a deer, whilst also evading the Lord's men. Well, he managed to keep away from the Lord's men, but he saw no deer, until the betwixt and between came upon the land, and there was a magnificent stag. Huge it was, white, with red ears. He crept up so quietly. He lifted up his hatchet and he went to strike. And at that moment, the deer looked right into his eyes and said, "I wouldn't do that if I was you." The man dropped the hatchet. He thought to himself, "I don't know, I must be so hungry, I'm hearing voices." He picked up the hatchet. "Oh, husband, you've not got long for the world. Stick your tongue out, will you?" He stuck his tongue out. "Oh, dear husband, it's green. Stick it out again, husband." "Oh, dear, oh, the smell, oh, it's starting started to set in, husband. You better lay down before you fall down. Oh dear, oh me, oh my, what are we going to do? And the poor husband lay on the bed. There's only one thing for it, husband. I'm going to call the undertaker.
And flowers? But that's not what drew his eyes. What he was looking at was the most wonderful girl he had ever seen. She was gorgeous. He wanted to call out to her. He was a little bit shy. So he thought, I'll play my flute. If I play my flute, she'll hear me. And then maybe she'll look this way. And so he started to play the flute. He played the wind into the flute, the sun and the moon and the stars. He played the movement of the grass. He played his heart. She didn't look. All of the dogs started to get excited. All the tails were wagging. They went deep into the woods, and one of them crept back to the hearth of the two-legged fire and took some coals and ran back, and before long the fire was blazing. Shall we dance? I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to too. And then one of the dogs braved it and no sooner had it stood up, it fell down again. And then it started, and it wobbled until another dog jumped up and they wobbled together. And as they wobbled together, they started to dance. Howl! And before long, all of the dogs were up and dancing and howling and having the greatest time until one dog said, "Stop it! Enough!" Pitch our little tent. They all looked at the dog. And as the sun kissed the earth goodnight, we were telling stories. We lit candles. And then, in the darkness of the night, we heard a roar, like a dragon was coming towards us. It came closer and closer. Something was moving through the forest with huge eyes. They were the eyes of a Land Rover. Somebody was driving a vehicle in the middle of Sherwood Forest in the darkness of the night. They stopped about 50 yards away, and suddenly the lights went out. So we blew out the candles, and now we're sitting in the dark while they're sitting in the dark. We're in the dark, they're in the dark. We're in the dark, they're in the dark. I looked over at my friends and I said, "What are we going to do?" They said, "Well, you're Robin Hood, you check it out." So it was. Armed with my little wooden sword, I walked up to the front of that Land Rover. The moment I stood in front of it, the lights came on, blinding me. I couldn't see a thing. I heard the doors open and two big men climbed out, and I heard one of them shouting, "Get down! Get down!" Now, I don't know about you, but I like to get down at the nightclub. Get down, get my groove on, oh yeah, oh yeah. But you know, somehow, I don't think he was inviting me to the dance.